We're here with Jon English, who just performed here. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
Many people probably know you most from the TV show Against the Wind.
In Sweden, yeah.
Yeah. And then with your song Six Ribbons.
Yeah.
When you look back at it, what do you feel about that time in your life?
I remember it was 6 months and it was freezing cold. And I remember not getting much money to do the music for it. And I remember being really surprised at how well it went because, you know, I'm not actually an actor, I'm more of a singer, but I had great fun though, great fun.
And then in the start of your career, you did over 700 performances as Judas Iscariot in the musical Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah.
And last year they revived this musical in Tasmania, but you in the role as Pilate.
Yeah, it was an amateur dramatic production, and I'm an ambassador for the Save the Tasmanian Devil, and they said, can you come down and be in it? And so I said, oh, well, I'll do Pontius Pilate because I'm way too old to be Judas again. And I said, only if you give some money from all the previews to the Save the Tasmanian Devil Fund. Mm. And so they said, okay, because I couldn't resist the irony of doing a show called Jesus Christ Superstar to save the devil. I thought that, and it was fantastic. And we raised about, I don't know how many in Swedish crowns, but it's about $50,000.
Yeah, Australian dollars.
Yeah, Australian dollars. Yeah. So
that's
we were very happy with it.
Yeah. In the 90s, you played an aging rock star in the sitcom All Together Now.
I am an aging rock star, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how was that to play in a comedy show, and especially playing that kind of role? Is there any similarities between you, the character, Bobby?
No, and I had to work very hard to prove that I wasn't that stupid and I wasn't that... and my son, who played guitar with us today, he was at school then, and they used to give him a terrible time. The reason they chose me was because, you know, I am an aging rock star, but I'm also an actor, so I could make it work. But no, I'm glad to say very few similarities, you know. They wanted me to be Ozzy Osbourne, basically. That's what it was.
Yeah. But through your career then, playing musicals, concerts and acting in TV shows, what do you enjoy most, and what do you consider yourself to be most?
Okay, I'm a musician, I'm a rock singer, but I do other things. So I do musicals and stage stuff, and I do some film and television. What I love best is playing live, like today. That's kind of where I grew up. That's what I am, yeah.
How has the challenge been then to balance these careers?
Well, I've been very lucky because whenever I sort of get bored with doing something will come along where it's different. Like for example, in Australia, after this, I fly back to Australia, and I'm going to play a very fat woman. It's true, in Hairspray, and it's completely different. So it's exciting again. You know, it's a challenge, and I just like it. Yeah.
What more do you have for the future after that?
Wrote a show called Paris, which I'd really like to see on the international stage, but generally I'm semi-retired because I'm really old now. I'm 64, Jesus.
Yeah, you know the retirement age is 65 in Sweden, so not really yet.
Maybe I might move here in about a year.
It's perfect. We will like you here, you know. They really like you.
It's been wonderful. The people have been really friendly, and the weather's been fantastic. Yeah. And Johan is just, and the whole festival is the best run in the world that I know of. We have lots in Australia, we really do. And it's just, everything is so tight and efficient, and it's brilliant, yeah, excellent. Well done, Sweden.
And you mentioned Johannes, you've been living at his place.
Yes, with about 54 other people. Yeah. His mother is a saint. Inga, you're a saint.
How has it been this week for you?
I've been sharing a room with my sons, which I've done before. Yeah. Anyway, it's been wonderful, really great experience. Thanks, Johannes.
Yeah. You played today with the Swedish band the Spearfish.
Yep.
And you only played with them 3 times before this week.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So how was that to play with a new band like that?
Well, I did a live CD with the Foster Brothers, and they just learnt it note for note. And then we did a couple of warm-up gigs, and I knew they'd be fine. But Joe, who plays the flute, and Jonathan, my son, they're Australian, so they helped out too. But they were just classy. That's it. All I can say. Pure class.
And this show was recorded for a DVD?
Apparently, yeah.
So, what can you say more about this upcoming DVD?
We'll have to re-record the whole thing because my fly was undone the entire time. I'm joking, that's all right, yeah. I don't know yet, I'll have a look. But thank you for recording it. Cheers.
One thing we have noticed in Sweden rock the recent years and throughout the years has been a growing trend with a lot of different countries. There's a lot of visitors from all over the world.
Yeah.
And in the rock culture down under in Australia, is Sweden rock anything you hear about?
Yes, you do. I'm going to make sure they hear a lot more about it when I get back. But yes, and because I think it's the best run festival in the world at the moment. You know, all the American acts say the same thing. That this is great, and so do the Australian ones, and obviously the British ones do. So yeah, they'll hear a lot more about it. It's just very tight, very efficient, very professional, and you know, what can I say? It's just because we have these in Australia, of course, too, and they get a bit chaotic sometimes. Sorry, Michael Chug, but you know, this is just brilliant.
Have you had any chances to see any artists yourself, or you will see?
Yeah, I caught Europe last night, and mostly I try and see the bands I haven't heard of, because the big bands we see in Australia, so that's okay. And I don't like to miss small bands because you might be watching the next Rolling Stones, you know. So that's what I try and do here. That's what I like about, you know, the whole thing. A band just starting out or a new band gets the chance to play on a big stage in front of people, and because it's terrifying if you've never done it before. It's scary. But I have, so it's all right.
How was it for you the first time you played?
It's cool. I get some of the guys from Spearfish. It's all right. I've done this before. You play to the back row and just wave and walk, move. That's it. It's movement and light and shade and colour, and off you go. Yeah.
If you could give any advice to a new upcoming band, what would that be?
Have fun. Do not take yourself too seriously, and if anything goes wrong, ignore it, because 9 times out of 10 the audience doesn't notice. So have fun.
Perfect advice. If you personally could arrange a fantasy festival, like a festival where you chose the artist,
right.
What artist would you bring then?
It's a good question. Hang on.
Dead or alive?
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to see Elvis singing with the Rolling Stones. I'd like to see the Beatles again. I'd like to see... Oh, it's a good question. It's a good one. Hang on, let me think. Wow. Probably everyone that's dead, sadly.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'd like to see Thin Lizzy. I did a tour with Thin Lizzy in Australia with the real... And when I heard they were playing here, it was like, that's a good treat. Phil in it was, I liked him a lot. We got on good. And I did, yeah. I would say it's a strange question. Yeah, Johannes' best answer because he books them every year. So sorry, can't answer it.
All right. Thank you, Jon, for taking the time, and thank you for a fantastic show today.
Cheers.
And
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Enjoy your rest of the stay here in Sweden.
I will. Always have.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Tusen tack. Hi, this is Jon English. Thank you to everyone for the concert. I hope you liked it. If you didn't like it, my name's Justin Bieber, and fuck you.